Superheroes are supposed to be the good guys. They're the people that we root for, but sometimes they're not as good as they really should be. This is the top 10 times superheroes turn to the dark side. Let's do it. In at 10, Spider-Man. Spider-Carnage isn't just another Spider-Man villain. He's actually an alternate version of Spider-Man. Hailing from one of many Earths, this character was introduced in the 90s Spider-Man animated series. My favorite Spider-Man animated series, might I add. This Peter's life was actually very similar to the main Spider-Man, except this version also lost Aunt May as well as Uncle Ben and developed a resentment for humanity because of it. And then he had to deal with a clone, which definitely sucked. Until he and the clone learned that who they thought was the clone, who was going by Bill Riley, could actually be the real Peter Parker. That broke Peter, or well, the real Peter. And a Carnage symbiote from another universe actually sensed this hatred and resentment, and through a portal created by Jonathan Ohm, it bonded with Peter, driving him even more insane, and then he started calling himself Spider-Carnage. From my understanding, this character hasn't been seen since that final episode, but I want him to make a comeback, okay? Like, add this character to the MCU, or like let Andrew Garfield fight the Carnage symbiote so that he can have the Spider-Carnage or something, please. And at 9, Superman. While this seems like something that any version of Superman would do if they turned bad, it's actually interesting to see that only the Injustice version of Superman did it. Yeah, you know, after Joker blew up Metropolis and killed his wife and unborn child, Superman killed him. And then, you know, started a whole regime. But after getting fed up with Batman leading a resistance against that regime, Superman just also told the world that Batman was really Bruce Wayne. And do you want to know how he did it? Like a press conference, a worldwide news message, a Mysterio-like video? No. The dude frickin' added him on Twitter. Superman, in just 4 simple words, just tells the world that Batman is Bruce Wayne. Using those 4 words, actually, from the official Superman Twitter account. The dude doesn't even like use his Clark Kent Twitter. Ugh, man, he's still hiding his identity, but just is like, yeah, no, it's Bruce. 2.5 million retweets and 3.5 million likes. It was definitely #1 on trending, at least until like Kim K posted a pic in like a Batman costume to capitalize on the news and had like the champagne going. Then Batman would be #2 on trending. That's probably what would happen, honestly. And at 8, Scarlet Witch. Considering how the entirety of House of M is meant to be about how one person changed reality, I think it's fairly safe to say that she's a powerful hero even if she isn't a hero all the time. Like in Multiverse of Madness, for example, when she somehow was able to send demons and monsters across different dimensions to attack America Chavez, but couldn't just go to those dimensions herself, even if she was the villain in that scenario. She was still able to take on the Illuminati of that universe. Okay, she was able to easily take them all down. She's an extremely powerful mutant, whether she's on your side or the side against you, but also falling boulders can kill Captain Marvel. Look, the only limit to Wanda's abilities is, in any incarnation of her, is her brain. And like, that's my one gripe with Multiverse of Madness, okay? Like, the whole point of getting America is to like be able to cross dimensions, but she's literally able to do that. And also, you captured a whole city into your own personal TV show and brought your dead Infinity Stone power boyfriend back from the dead for it, okay? I think you can easily handle any illness that your son ends up getting. And in the whole House of M thing, you literally rewrite reality so that there are actual kids that you can live with and raise, okay? So you've been a villain. And at 7, Batman. When Ares, the Greek god of war, created a helmet that amplified his powers 100-fold, war broke out in an effort to stop him. For 2 years, Batman and Wonder Woman fought side by side to get close enough to attempt to stop Ares. It was during this war where Bruce and Diana actually fell in love. They and their allies made a pledge to kill the god of war and end his reign of terror once and for all, and when they finally mounted the attack to get to Ares, the two were able to get the helmet off the war god. But Diana was incapacitated, causing Batman to believe that she had died. Driven by grief yet again, Bruce put on the helmet of the god of war to defeat Ares, despite being warned of its corrupting influence. Believing that he could wield it mercifully while making war fair and just, he succeeded in killing Ares, but then turned into a merciless warrior who just destroyed the world, despite that learning that Wonder Woman had actually survived and was only stunned. Kingdom Come, man. That's nuts. And at 6, Doctor Strange. In the midst of the Infinity War, Doctor Strange found himself resorting to the forbidden knowledge contained within the Darkhold. Desperately seeking a means to overcome the formidable Thanos, within his pages he stumbled upon the Dreamwalking spell, which granted him the ability to traverse alternate universes. Tragically though, Strange's meddling inadvertently triggered an incursion, resulting in the utter annihilation of another universe. Recognizing the dire consequence of his actions, Doctor Strange ultimately renounced the corrupting influence of the Darkhold, taking responsibility for his actions, and entrusting the safeguarding of the tome with the Illuminati. Together they sought out the Book of Vishanti, harnessing its power to defeat Thanos, but to prevent any further repercussions, Doctor Strange submitted to execution at the hands of Black Bolt. Meanwhile, the Darkhold found its new sanctuary within the Sanctum Sanctorum of New York, carefully protected by Mordo, who swore an oath to prevent dangerous tomes from falling into the wrong hands. But again, it was evil Doctor Strange, okay? We saw it in Multiverse of Madness. We saw it in the What If storyline. Doctor Strange has gone dark multiple times, alright? Sorry. Halfway through into number 5, Green Arrow. Created by Grant Morrison and Arnie Jorgensen, the most recognized version of Prometheus made his first appearance in New Year's Evil Prometheus from 1998. Commonly an adversary of the Justice League, Prometheus would also serve as an enemy to Batman, Green Arrow, and Midnighter. Prometheus possesses no superhuman abilities, but has undergone intense physical and mental training and utilizes an extensive range of equipment and technology like Batman does. However, Prometheus is probably the most known in the Green Arrow community for being the start of the Trial of Green Arrow storyline, commonly known as the worst Green Arrow storyline of all time, where Oliver kills Prometheus after he bombs Star City, kills Roy's daughter, then ends up cutting off Roy's arm, and then Oliver gets put on trial for his death. Yeah, you can say that was Oliver going dark, excluding the show. And at 4, Hulk. Oh man, okay, this is an interesting one. Hulk, aka Maestro from the Future Imperfect storyline, is actually the worst version of the Hulk you can understand, okay, like morally speaking. He's from the Old Man Logan series, but first appearing in the Incredible Hulk Future Imperfect #1 from 1992, Maestro possesses Bruce Banner's intellect and the Hulk's everything else. After a devastating nuclear war destroyed most of the human race, the radiation from that war ended up basically supercharging the Hulk and turning him into an even more powerful version. Ended up violently attacking his cousin, She-Hulk, which resulted in the birth of the Hulk gang. I don't want to get into that, but at this point I kind of have to because this number's about him. It's absolutely terrifying, okay? Because while the Hulk is already a freaking monster, add on to that more radiation, more power, the destruction of the country. Yeah, okay? And not only that, but this was 1992. God, they ran the whole Hulk gang thing in 1992. Thank God I wasn't alive. Getting close to the end in number 3, The Flash. Barry Allen, aka The Flash, is one of the former heroes who turned into a bloodthirsty vampire after Batman spread the vampire plague throughout the world of Earth 43. He confronts Wally West from a different world and attempts to kill him, but before he can succeed, he was killed by Roy Harper in this world, who shot him with wooden arrows in the back. Yep, that's right, wooden arrows count as stakes. I wonder if these were T-bone. But even if he went down easily, that doesn't mean that he wasn't powerful, okay? Since, you know, a vampire with the powers of the Flash, and not just any Flash, Barry Allen, the literal Speed Force itself, basically, who can run so hard that he can compress air molecules under his feet and run up the air like a staircase. Yeah, I don't think you really need to think about why that's terrifying. If he hadn't have been killed by Roy, he would have wiped out humanity, okay? And that's why they had to kill him off, so that didn't happen, okay? There was no way to defend against that, especially since Batman was the one who turned him. But ultimately, in number 2, Captain America. In a surprising turn of events, Captain America actually found himself entangled with the group of Hydra, a longtime foe that he had fought against for years and was basically his most iconic villain. This unexpected twist occurred in 2016's Captain America Steve Rogers #1 when Cap uttered the shocking phrase, "Hail Hydra," after callously pushing a fellow ally out of an airplane. Prior to this, Cap had experienced a significant transformation due to the actions of the Iron Nail. The super soldier serum in Cap's bloodstream was neutralized, causing his body to age, aligning with his actual age of 90 years old. But this resulted in him assuming the persona of Old Man Cap, similar to his portrayal at the end of Endgame. For a period of time, he was like this, but it eventually was changed with the Cosmic Cube, which is the Tesseract in the movies, causing him to just go nuts, okay? He transformed into a 4-year-old and then was manipulated by Red Red Skull into believing that Hydra was good. So then like Koblik restored Cap to his actual like proper physique and whatever. They also made him loyal to Hydra, so yeah, it wasn't well received. And finally, in at number 1, Hal Jordan. I think at this point, it's justified that thanks to the Emerald Twilight from back in 1994, Hal Jordan's gonna be on this list. The story begins with Hal Jordan holding a doll in the middle of what was once Coast City. Grief-stricken, he recreates the city using his power ring, including its deceased inhabitants, including his father, violating the Green Lantern Corps code, which forbids lanterns from using their powers for personal gain. Hal is contacted by the Guardians of the Universe, who reprimand him, but furious, Hal drains the holographic projection's energy and then travels to O and drains the central power battery to reconstruct Coast City. Green Lanterns are sent to stop him. Hal destroys all of them. His rampage then continues. He almost destroys a timeline with this. Even Guy Gardner, who wears Sinestro's yellow ring, was scared of the devastation that Hal was causing. I'm gonna call that going dark. He started calling himself Parallax. Have you seen that movie? That's not a good thing to call yourself, dude. Just like get a proper mask next time. That's it. Thanks for watching. I need to take a shower. Man, that Hulk thing is messed the f up.